All right, Shalom, Yasharala, Shalom, giving all praises, honor, and glory to our power, Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rachak Wadash, double honors to the apostles who are the elders of Great Millstone, peace, blessing, hope, elect. All right, so I guess this is basically just another various articles. All right, so pretty much not really nothing too major in this particular one. We're just gonna grab and go on this one. We're gonna grab what I have here. Going to do it one by one like we did last time. Um, just various articles. So we're going to hit this one real quick. It says Biden baffles U.S. audience closing speech with "God Save the Queen." All right. And wondering why this is important. It's not really that important, but something that I wanted to point out when I read through it. It says just a few weeks before Independence Day, President Joe Biden dumbfounded, which is natural for him, an audience. But it's sorry. It says President Joe Biden dumbfounded an audience in Connecticut and observers everywhere when he closed a speech on Friday by declaring, "God save the Queen, man." Sounds just like him too. God save the Queen, man. Next, as with seemingly every conclusion of a Biden public appearance, the 80-year-old president appeared confused about where he should go next, pointing to and fro, seeking guidance from someone off stage. "God Save the Queen" is an expression of British patriotism. Perhaps the next edition of Biden's presidential daily briefing should include a refresher on the fact that Americans declared independence from British royals almost 247 years ago. All right, which is basically scriptural. It says briefers might also remind him that with Queen Elizabeth's death 9 months ago, the expression has toggled to "God Save the King." So that's one aspect of it. I'll say, okay, and then this is why I actually even read through it. All right, so let's hit this back one more time. Um it says Americans declared independence from British royals almost 247 years ago. All right, that's in Revelation 17. All right, the eighth that is of the seven that is talking about America. Right, French, Spanish, the British. All right, they all had footholds in America, and then America gained its independence from all these countries through the Revolutionary Wars, so on and so forth. French, Spanish War, whatever. With Britain. All right, it gained is basically, case in point, gained its independence from the British Edomites. All right. That once again is in Revelation 17:5. All right. America gained is independence. Okay. It says briefers might also remind him that with Elizabeth's death 9 months ago, the expression has targeted to "God Save the King." All right. Now, it also says while followers of the Lyndon LaRouche movement will see Biden's bizarre use of the statement as proof that British royals really do control the world's governments, which is a lie. The world's governments are controlled by the international banking families who own everything, all right? Countries even. It says most others will rightly view it as another indicator of his declining mental health. Now, he's just stupid. That's what that is. All right, so the point that I want to point out here is the spiritual aspect that the regular people, the regular audience will miss, okay? It says that he was talking about "God Save the Queen" is an expression of British patriotism, which is probably true, all right, in a physical, sense at face value. But here's the thing, in the spiritual sense, all right, who are they always talking about, all right? Because that Revelation 17:5, that mother of all harlots is who? America, which is Babylon the Great, the revival of the Roman Empire, all right? They tell you America's the greatest country, this, that, and third. Make America great again, got the MAGA hats and all this, that, and third. All right. So this is almost a twofold statement, okay? But it's the spiritual, in the spiritual sense that people are, missing or overlooking or whatever the case may be. All right. So let's grab this real quick. All right. This is Isaiah 47. All right, Isaiah 47, verse 5. It says, "Sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called the lady of kingdoms." It says, "I was wroth for my people. I have polluted mine inheritance, and given them into thine hand. Thou didst show them no mercy. Upon the ancient thou hast verily heavily laid thy yoke." That's talking about the hard bondage that Esau, Edom has placed on the Israelites, okay? Which also is the same thing in Isaiah the 14th chapter. I believe it's like 14 or 14. Or actually, Isaiah 14:17 says, "You open not the house of the prisoners," and so many other verses that links that. Anyways, continuing on, it says, "And thou saidst, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it. Therefore, hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me, I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon thee in their perfection for the multitude of thy sorceries, and for the great abundance of thine enchantments. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge it hath perverted thee. And thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. Therefore shall evil come upon thee. Thou shalt not know from whence it riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee. Thou shalt not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know." All right. Stand now with thine enchantments, and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be thou shalt be able to profit, if so be thou mayest prevail. All right. And this is all talking about America. Okay. You know that speaking in the article, like I say, in the spiritual sense. Okay. Yes. Matter of fact, let's go back to the article. All right. Yes, God Save the Queen is an expression used for the British and for the British Queen, so on and so forth, which she's in a casket now. But you have the spiritual side of it. America is supposedly that widow, that queen, that whatever, all right? Revelation 17:5, the mother of all harlots and abominations of the earth, okay? That is most definitely talking about America. And so that's just something that I kind of, through the spirit, I picked up on. Not saying that's exactly what it meant, but at the same time, you can't really overlook it, man, because they think he's just old, confused, which he is stupid. But they just think he's some old, confused, old man. You know, about them and see now, okay. But these people operate, with magic, witchcraft, sorcery, so on and so forth. All right, so Biden may be stupid, but he ain't as stupid as people think, okay? Because he knows sometimes exactly what he's doing, because he has a script that he goes by. All right, for all we know, he's only partly stupid, and the other half is acting. We don't know. We know he's pretty much a fool, but like you can't overlook the spiritual aspect of things, because the Lord controls all things. So that's just something I wanted to point out real quick. Just wanted to hit that one real quick. So let me grab the next thing that I want to jump into. All right, so this is a little site that I picked up on just recently, super duper fresh to me. But this is Baja Breaking News. And you see what this says. It says 5.9 magnitude earthquake strikes near Tonga. Okay. And June 16th, I believe that is the date. Let me check it. It's the 17th. All right. So this was yesterday, if I'm correct. Um, it says an earthquake with a magnitude of 5.9 struck near the Pacific island country of Tonga. The United States Geological Survey said on Friday the quake's epicenter was registered about 270 kilometers south of the island in the Pacific Ocean at a depth of 10 kilometers. No tsunami warning has been issued following the tremor. There have been no immediate reports of potential damage or casualties yet. Okay. Oh, excuse me. Well, here now it says 6.0 magnitude. Same thing. I believe it's the same place. Yeah. 5.9, 6.0. Same difference, all right? It's all, very devastating. All right, Tonga hit by 6.0 magnitude earthquake. All right, it was recorded in the South Pacific Ocean off the coast of Tonga, according to data. All right, 5.6 magnitude earthquake shakes Hokkaido, Japan. All right, this is also a day ago. 5.6 magnitude earthquake struck the Japanese island of Hokkaido. The United States Geological Survey said on, I guess there's more. I'm not going to click on it. Might get taken away. Just pretty much hitting these real quick, in and out. 5.5 magnitude quake strikes France. Okay, also on the 16th. And these are like chain reaction quakes, It says an earthquake with a magnitude of 5.5 struck Western France on Friday. Okay. Philippines struck by 6.2 magnitude earthquake. It's happened on the 15th. All right. In June the 15th, an earthquake hit the Mindoro province of the Philippines, the United States Geological. Okay, same old thing. All right. Philippines, Mindoro province of the Philippines. All right. 6.2 magnitude earthquake. All right. So, and I believe the scriptures go into the earthquakes and stuff like that. I want to say I'm about to jump over to Matthew, but I also want to say, is it in Nahum? Let me see if I'm correct. There's something in here. I might be in the wrong chapter. Might be in the wrong book. Period. Just bear with me. All right. Let me see. Let's go to chapter 1 real quick, just to cover the tracks. It might even be chapter 2 if it's in this book. All right, I think this is the verse I'm looking for. It says the mountains chapter 1, Nahum chapter 1 verse 5, the mountains quake at him and the hills melt and the earth is burned at his presence, yea, the world and all that dwell. No, I don't think that's the verse I was looking for. No, I see it. It's the next verse. Haha. Call on you like All right, it says, who can stand before his indignation, his righteous anger, and who can abide in the fierceness of his anger? His fury is poured out like fire, and the rocks are thrown down by him. All right. This is what happened when you have, great quakes in the mountains, landslides, rock slides, whatever they call it, the ones with the snow, and then as well as earthquakes, right? These rocks are, these fissures, these trembles, all right, the earth breaking open, and so on and so forth, man. The rocks are being thrown down by the Lord, all right? It's all comes from the Lord, all right? So, the water, how much I'm shot for that? I was right. It was Nahum chapter 1, verse 6, but we grabbed 5 and 6. Let's jump over here real quick. Matthew 24. And let's find that verse right here. Verse 7, Matthew 24:7. For nation shall rise against nation, the kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes. And you see all these earthquakes. Well, majority of them happened in one day, which was, I think they all said the 16th. Then there was one, I believe the Philippines said in the 15th. All right. But, I mean, it was like, what, 4 of them, 3 or 4? All right. One in one day and like 3 the next day, all in one day. Very, very great magnitude, earthquakes. Okay. But this is it, though. Earthquakes in diverse, meaning different places. And that's exactly what we just saw. Earthquakes in different places, because the Lord is visiting this earth on all levels, and it's only going to continue getting worse and worse and worse as time progresses on, right? We went into a time period that is, people just do not understand the time period that they're living in, okay? And still blind, deaf, and dumb. And you, especially for you Israelites, you're still asleep, that valley of dry bones, okay? You have not put that spirit, back on yourself, okay? When it has freely been poured out. The Lord says that in Ezekiel 39:29, I believe I'm correct. I'll pour out my spirit on the house of Israel, okay? Which he says the same thing in Joel chapter 2, but he says I'll pour out my spirit on all flesh in Joel, okay? And I believe it was Apostle either Paul or Peter who actually quoted Joel, okay, in the book of Acts, all right? Talking about the same thing, pouring out his spirit upon all flesh, and sons and daughters prophesying, handmaidens, dream dreams, so on and so forth, you know the verse, all right? Well, that was said in Joel chapter 2, but in uh, uh, Ezekiel, it says specifically that I will pour out my spirit upon the house of Israel, okay? And the Israelites, there's so many Israelites who are still spiritually dead, not physically dead, not talking about zombies, Skeletor, He-Man, or whatever else, walking around with skeletons and shields and greaves and stuff like that, clothes tattered up. No, spiritually dead. You don't have this word within you, all right? This truth. And what does the scripture say? It says all these things, I said all these are the beginning of sorrows, okay? That means, all like we just mentioned, these things are just going to continue happening. They're going to continue ramping up, and they're just going to continue to get worse and worse and worse over time. All right, so yeah, that was once again from Baja, a new site that I just picked up on. But that was pretty good, decent information when it's talking about those earthquakes. And I'm not sure if it's all, because I believe there's other news that you can get into. So I'm gonna have to actually check this site out because I don't believe it's just all earthquakes, okay? But it caught my eye, so I pulled it out. So I believe there was something else that I wanted. So I'm gonna go pause this right here and I'll try to find it. If not, then I'll just come back and close out. So give me a second. All right. We are in Bitcoin.com, Bitcoin news, and this little article here says Robert Kiyosaki warns more banks are about to fail. Okay, it's just what he says, which could at the same time could be very well true. All right, so it says Robert Kiyosaki, author of the best-selling book Rich Dad Poor Dad, has warned that more banks are about to fail. Regional banks and mortgage companies are falling. He cautioned, urging investors to think for themselves and not rely on the guidance of President Joe Biden, Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell, or Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen. All right, more banks are on the verge of falling, says Kiyosaki. Rich Dad Poor Dad, blah blah blah. We don't care about your book. You sell your own books. It says more banks about to fail. Rumor is mortgage giant Loan Depot is on the ropes. Regional banks and mortgage companies are falling. Okay, and that's obviously a quote. He says he then urged everyone to be careful. I would not believe anything President Biden, Chairman Powell, or Secretary Treasury Yellen says. Think for yourself, Kiyosaki advised. It says many people on social media agree with the famous author that more banks are on the brink of failure, including economist and gold bug Peter Schiff, who tweeted, "Correct, but this was the inevitable consequence of obvious monetary and fiscal policy mistakes made over the years, which you are wrong, sir. Nothing with these devils is a mistake. Everything is planned out." All right, they have planned these things out for years, and we're just in a time period where a majority of all of their plan, they're able to roll it out very subtly, okay, very, very crafty like. Okay, nothing is a mistake with these people, with these international banking families, to be more specific, all right, with these devils. Nothing is a mistake with them. Okay, they are controlled by the Lord on the left hand side, and every one of their moves is very strategically made. Okay, as in a chess game. All right. They have to pull off a certain agenda, but they also furthermore have to pull it off in a certain way. So they are making no mistakes because they want everything to go smoothly. Everything is playing with these devils. All right, that's the one thing that these worldly Edomites will not understand. These other, the low life ones, not the elites or the in circle, in crowd or whatever. Okay, it says correct, but this was the inevitable consequence of obvious monetary and fiscal policy mistakes made over the years. Fed and federal policy are the reasons the U.S. banking system is now insolvent, and why this financial crisis will be much worse than the last one they created. All right, and that is their whole goal. The fourth industrial revolution. Okay, they are ushering in their new world order, and there are people like you who don't get it, but then there are people who do get it, but they don't have the true understanding because there's no knowledge of the scriptures within them. Well, mostly because they're heathens, all right. Which the heathen can learn if they actually sit down and listen to the Israelite teachers. They can learn. It's all about them believing, and 9 times out of 10 they don't believe what it is that they hear. Okay, some, like I said, some get it, some don't. Okay, but what's most importantly is the Israelites. All right, if you get it or not. Okay. And you understand what time period you're living in because these are the last days. And we just came from Matthew 24. Okay, I believe we're still there on my other page. But anyways, it says, Schiff further expressed his concern that the current banking crisis could lead to a major bank run. This is going to be the biggest bank run in world history. It will make the small runs of the Great Depression look like a Sunday school picnic. And this is what the Open Elite, he opine or whatever. It says the Economist's comment was in response to a tweet highlighting a significant decline in bank deposits, which tumbled by $79.2 billion in the past week, the biggest drop since March 22nd. The unadjusted drop was even larger at $86.6 billion. Okay, what else we got down here? It says this was not the first time Kiyosaki warned about banks failing. In April, the famous author said the Federal Reserve is destroying regional banks across the U.S. He explained that by supporting only big banks like J.P. Morgan Chase, which is going back to those wicked elites, right? J.P. Morgan, all right, elite bank, okay? It says, like JP Morgan Chase, the Fed is wiping out regional banks, which are the heart and soul of America. All right. And there was actually a bank that I used to not actually bank with. It was just like a little side account. What was it called? Uh, I think it was called Go Bank or something like that. They shut down. All right. That was several months ago. They shut down. Okay. So, it's not a mystery. Anything that's small and insignificant, these big boys are trying to um dissolve, or pretty much just overcome, because they want everything funneled through them, and they're going to get it just like that. They're going to get it their way. Okay, believe that they are going to have it their way. Everything is going to be funneled through them. And when I say them, I'm talking about the elites. Okay, everything is going to be according to their plan. It's not going to skip a beat. All right. Continuing on. Excuse me, rubbing my eye. All right. It says find my place. It says he explained that by supporting only big banks like JP Morgan Chase, the Fed is wiping out regional banks, which are the heart and soul of America. Several major banks failed in March, including Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank. The Rich Dad Poor Dad author's warnings also extend to the global economy. In February, he warned that the world economy is on the verge of collapse. Yes, it is. All right, and it's not by it's just happening. Okay, it's not just happening. All right, this world has been slowly diminished by the wicked elites rule, and then furthermore by the plans that they're trying to pull out. All right, so we're just being hit double sided. Okay, that's why we need the Lord. We need Yahweh Shah to come. All right, and set this place back in order, because they're destroying everything. Okay, even the earth itself. It says the Rich Dad Poor Dad author's warning also extend to the global economy. In February, he warned that the world economy is on the verge of collapse, noting that there will be runs on banks, frozen savings, and bail-ins. He has consistently recommended buying gold, silver, and Bitcoin, stating that these three investments are the best for unstable times, and he is so very wrong about that. If you think that any of these secondhand forms of currencies are going to help you, you are greatly fooled. Okay, these elite banking families, once again, they will funnel everything through them, regardless of what you try to jump into. All roads will lead right back to them. You will be funneled through them, and to get through that little loophole, you will have to go through their RFID microchip. That is the ultimate game plan goal of these wicked elite banking families, to issue, implement that RFID microchip, because that gives them full autonomy over everyone's life. All right, full control, perpetual slaves. That is what they want. But we know through the scriptures, all right, that the Lord has written our story. All right, you Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the biblical Israelites. He's written our story to be different from what these elites think that it's going to be like, because they control the fatness of the earth right now. Okay. Okay, I believe that was it for that. I guess maybe we can see if we can pull out a couple verses. Maybe let's go back over here, because we are in Matthew 24. Come on up. All right. Let's see what we got here. That's a beautiful verse. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. That goes back to the Lord's mouthpieces, which are his prophets. All right. And prophets do what? They prophesy. Prophesy means the what? To say before. All right. And we are speaking these things in existence because they are written in our holy scriptures. All right. These are the words of the Lord. All right. And this is a even more specific red letter, meaning how Shah spoke these words himself. Okay. As a warning for us in these latter days, in the time period that we're living in now. Okay. Um, and let's see. Just trying to see if we can point out a couple good verses here. Because I really didn't have anything in mind for that particular article. It was kind of straightforward what it was talking about. Oh, excuse me. Just bear with me. All right, but I did mention that we need Yahushua. It's a good, beautiful verse. It says, and actually, let's grab 29. It says, immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven, which are the chariots, with power and great glory. All right. And it says that we have to what? Is go through all these things. All right. These things have to happen first. All right. So that tells you that the Christian churches, Catholic, Muslim, well, not Muslim, but them too, they're all lying. Okay. Regardless of what denomination it is, they're all lying to you. Okay. But especially, these church denominations, there is no rapture. You will not be taken up in the clouds to some pearly gates. The scriptures say, through much tribulation must you enter into the kingdom of heaven. You must go through the straight gate, outward temptation, all these things. You're going to be here to watch these banks collapse. You're going to be here to watch them implement the CBDC, implement the microchip, use their robot people, robot dogs, their gadgets, their FEMA camps, their guillotines. You will be here to see every gadget and device that these devils have, because that is exactly what they're going to do when they come in like a flood and they come down with great wrath. And this is why we want to be building up our faith in the Lord, okay? Because these devils are there. I mean, they're not playing games, all right? It's you, Jake, who are playing games out here, and you don't know that your soul, is in a balance. As a matter of fact, that's beautiful. Let's end with this, okay? Because I probably could find some more articles, but for now, I'll end it here. And if I do come across some more good articles, which is, hey, we'll come right on back, boomerang right on back. But let's grab this Matthew 10:28, okay? And it reads, "And fear not them which kill the body." All right, Esau, who is Edom, the man of the son of perdition, the man of wickedness, the border of wickedness, as it says in Malachi 1:4. Okay, the man who has sworn to kill you. All right, in Genesis 27:41. All right, and he has not slowed up, not one bit. Okay, he is always finding different ways to pollute your sanctuary, your temple. All right, defile your body, poison you, and just so many levels, man. So many different ways that he's constantly conjuring up, to do away with you. Okay, you Israelites. All right, thinking always, evil continually. All right, upon their beds when the morning is light, and so on and so forth. When they wake up, when they go to sleep, all throughout the day, always thinking evil, evil, evil. If they're not thinking about how to put forward their agenda, they're thinking about how to do some kind of evil towards you Israelites. Okay. It says, "Fear not them which kill the body." Esau, who is eating the self-proclaimed white man, the red man of the earth, right? The Edomites, the biblical Edomites, but are not able to kill the soul, all right? Because they can put you in a casket, all right? Give you a long string, a white tag, and a metal slab, all right? But they cannot do anything with your spirit, because your spirit belongs to the Lord, and your spirit goes back to the Lord upon sleep, okay? You rest. It says, "But rather fear him." Yahweh Shem Yahushua, but rather fear him, which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. And hell is just the grave, because the Lord can bring your enemies against you, all right, and put you in a casket, and your spirit will still return to him. And he has the power to also delete your spirit from existence, which means you will never be reincarnated ever again. Okay, but that was it for now. Pretty much straightforward. So Lord willing, you will edify us next time. Yahshua, say shalom.